right. I'm here, you're here on a big evening in which we can continue the double header of coverage from Wall Street from Main Street, from my home to your home this evening. Thank you for joining me. I see everyone in the room. I see George, I see Ira, I see Dean. Hey, Nancy, there's Chris. And we're also simulcasting the Instagram room. There's Miss Jacob and then O'Dally, and there's Roberta Hellman, Chef Roberto. Chef Roberto is there, and there's Andrea and Jeremy and Christine. How are you? Purple Hawks are filing in by the minute, and there's Freddie, and there's Christine as well. Jenny and George, and there's Jenny. Irish, Ira, you said last night. Black Jelly, how are you? And there's Crystal, and there's Christine, and there's Wendy. Hey, Vicky, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. How are you? There's Tina. Hey, Christine, how are you? There is D. Smith, and there's James and Bill Harrison, and there, Chris said, "There's me." Yeah, there you are, Chris. And there's Janice, and there's Julia, and there's Tim, and there's Alma. Hey, Alma. Welcome, Vicky. Everyone, welcome Vicky to the family. Everyone, welcome Vicky becoming part of this family. And there's Lexington and Nancy. And there's Pucker Up Lemonade. How are you, my friend? And there's Abby. And there's David Ortiz, the OG from Calixico, California. And there is the other Nancy, and there's Diane, and there's Tim. How are you? And there's Shelby. And there is Abby and Connie. Wow, what a good day it is. So, the big update as you start at the evening on the double dose of Evenings LA is that minutes ago, a top virologist, Angela Rasmussen, slammed governors across the country for trying to reopen indoor dining. Yes, if you did not hear, in New York, Andrew Cuomo is trying to get ready to reopen dining in advance of Valentine's Day. It's an extraordinarily reckless and premature decision, says Angela Rasmussen. While I appreciate the economic importance of opening a business back up, and while cases are on the decline, COVID cases, we have new variants of the virus that are circulating that are more transmittable. We don't need to create new opportunities for the virus to spread among strangers who are not in each other's household groups. We need to hang in there a bit longer with the non-pharmaceutical interventions that are meant to reduce exposure risks, like masking, distancing, until we can get more people vaccinated. Those are stern warnings. Do you agree or disagree? Do you think that her comments slamming indoor dining are correct? Agree or disagree? What do you say? Drop it in the comments. Do you agree with with her comments slamming the indoor dining? Agree or disagree? There we go. Tina, agree. Disagree, says Mary. One says agree, one says disagree. And then the screen went black. That means that, there we go, agree. I agree. New York is a ghost town, says Ira. So about 4 or 5 agrees and a few disagrees. Agree, disagree. I agree, disagree. Agree, disagree. Agree. Interesting. Well, let me explain the situation as you have it now. Disagree, agree. So here's the situation as you have it tonight. The stimulus package has been based in part upon vaccination and is also based upon reopening businesses. And this was what is problematic for viewers of this channel. Do you think you're getting paid stimulus, or let me say it this way, do you think you're owed stimulus for what you have endured in the past or what's coming up? Tell me if you think it's past or new. Because my belief is you're supposed to get stimulus for what you've already endured. Past is my opinion. And when we look at the stimulus, yes, absolutely, both. Oh, some people say both. Both. I think it's absolutely for past, for what's incurred. And certainly, yeah, it is forward reaching to give you money to go spend going forward. So yeah, so a lot of people say past or both. So that's good. And here's her interesting comment, which is, you know what? You're putting the cart before the horse. Here's the issue. Joe Biden's stimulus package was based upon three factors, and I've always been worried about these three factors. His $1.9 trillion stimulus package was written in January before we had the variants of the virus. He said, well, I want to reopen businesses and reopen schools within the first 100 days of my administration because we're going to roll out vaccinations. Well, today he did that. Today, his CDC chairman said, we're recommending you go back to school in person. Who cares you don't have vaccinated teachers? I don't care. You're safe. Go ahead and do it. Now, ultimately, schools are decided by the governors or by the mayors or by the county leaders. In California, they say, go pound sand. We're not doing that, honey. We ain't doing that. We aren't vaccinated. We aren't doing it. Give us some vaccines and then we'll do it. So that actually happened today. So is the next step from the president to say, reopen businesses, you are safe. We think you're safe. Go ahead and do it. We've only vaccinated, 15% of the population or whatever it is. Go reopen it. Ultimately, this is impacting your stimulus because the amount of stimulus checks you're getting, the amount of FPUC you're getting, the amount of things you're getting is based upon the forward prognosis of where we're going. And you and I know that when I was recording back in October, and we were in the brimps of trying to get to second stimulus to a finish line, I said, get ready because when the pandemic rages in January, this is what I said to you in October, when the pandemic rages in January, we have to have a big stimulus package called third stimulus. Well, second stimulus was minuscule, and now we're at third stimulus, and they're already saying, hey, reopen businesses. So is that mindset correct? Perhaps not. Next week, earnings reports will come in. On Tuesday, we will hear earnings reports from CVS Health, which would be interesting because they're doing the vaccine. Lazy boy. The only guy will watch that earnings report. Then on Wednesday, we're hearing earnings reports from Cheesecake Factory. There we go. Restaurant, unless you had a restaurant chain is doing. Thursday's a big one. Walmart will report on Thursday, along with Dropbox and Waste Management. Friday, John Deere will report. So we'll see the impact of construction on this economy. But tonight, Building Materials Company Chairman Joe Singe of AZEC described what's impacting for the building. He says the focus on house building really gives us a long-term benefit. For us, the £1 billion is really a mission for the company. We continue acquisitions. The issue is for FPUC. Why was FPUC in the third stimulus package of $400? It don't make any sense. And earlier today, Ron Wynden, a head of the finance committee, I believe it is, stepped up and said, I'm not going to support this. I'm going to hold out for $600 a week. This is huge. This is huge in so many regards because viewers have asked me, what happens when the bill lands in the Senate? What happens when the bill lands in the Senate? Here is sort of the procedural confusion of what happens when the bill lands in the Senate. It was supposed to only have one sort of root of concern. The parliamentarian, who doesn't concern you, she concerns that $15 minimum wage. She's going to get the bill and say, take it out. I'm not doing this $15 minimum wage. And then Harris would overrule her. It would require a 50 vote of the Democrats to overrule the decision to keep the minimum wage in there. But now there's a catch. Ooh, the catch is delicious. It's the catch of the day. It's better than lobster. It's the catch of the day. What's the catch of the day? That when they call to do that 50 vote overruling of the parliamentarian, they may not get it because someone's going to haul out for your FPUC. Ooh, I love this. This is like a good Melrose Place episode of the last 10 minutes. Something happens. just when Heather Locklear is about to realize that person at that apartment apartment AC on the corner, they've been doing something illegal. She's going to reveal it at the 10-minute mark. This is a big surprise. Now, ultimately, there has been viewers all throughout the day been sending me messages. It's going to hold up my stimulus check. No, they had to do this anyway. They always argue before they vote. We already know this. But this could be the opening of the door to go bigger and bolder for more stimulus. The push to get more stimulus is clearly at issue because the FPUC is wrong. The business grants are wrong. I'll be covering that in a second. The rent is potentially confusing, and the payroll, let's hope that's right. But what about the hazard pay? First, let's go over each of those. Hazard pay, we don't have the information about it. You've had 11 PDFs as members of this channel. I'm delivering you some more tonight and some more to you tomorrow. There won't be any new ones tonight, but I'll be delivering more new ones to you tomorrow. There's nothing in there about hazard pay. The concern is hazard pay is that falling by the waistline. That's number one. Rent. There's rent for low income, rent for middle class, and mortgage payments, mortgage help. Then the business grants. They're not anywhere where they need to be. The $5,000 EIDL grant for a new applicant in 2021, that's not anywhere where the number should be. Nothing is more difficult for me to report on camera with a smile and an upbeat persona than to tell you a number that's absurd. Well, that's the way I could do it. That's absurd, and I laugh because it is absurd. $5,000 business grant? I mean, this ain't a town with 20 people in it. $5,000 business grants, they do that for like the school science project gives $5,000 business grants. I mean, what is a federal business grant of $5,000? Is that a joke, really? I mean, that's really a joke. Only a person who is, oh, I almost said it. Well, I'm going to say it. No, I'm going to say it. Only a person who has never worked a day in his life would ever think a $5,000 business grant is sufficient. I mean, you have to be an elected official who has spent their entire life in politics to think $5,000 of business grant is sufficient. I mean, no business person would ever look at that and say, yeah, that's great. $5,000. Thank you. I could just do so much. I mean, elected officials have never paid a water bill or electric bill for a business location. They've never paid a business telephone line. They've never paid business insurances. Most, the ones that have been career politicians. So they don't know what a $5,000 business grant is. It's just insane. And then finally, the FPUC. $600 a week. So a new report came out today that said, well, at $400 a week, the average person, at $400 of FPUC, the average person gave about $700 a week for UI plus FPUC or PUA plus FPUC, which is good. I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad, but it should be $600. So here's where we are at the 13-minute mark. Where we are at the 13-minute mark is certain elected officials are on your side to get you bigger money, and they're in the Senate. Suddenly, Heather Locklear has friends in the condo complex on Melrose Place. She has to call up, why did I use Melrose Place? Because I don't know the characters on Melrose Place. She has to call up Courtney Smith. Well, I forgot the characters on Melrose. She has to call the other person up and say, I need help with this because they're doing something strange in the corner condo. And that's where we are. The bill help will come in the Senate. Is the bill in the Senate yet? No. February 22nd it's in the Senate. And when it lands in the Senate, that's where the bill help needs to come. And where will it come? Let's do it right now. But first, at the 14-minute mark, make sure you subscribe. This is Evenings LA with 500 people in the room and 233 likes, 233 likes. Thank you for joining me on a big night. After this recording, I'm back with you at 10 o'clock with Hazard Pay tonight, a live chat. A lot of fun. Last night's Hazard Pay was the most watched Hazard Pay ever for that time slot. So you love it. I love it. It's a live chat with me, not an Android version of me, not the bot me. Someone called me a bot in there one night. I'm like, that is not a bot, me. Thank you. So that's 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, can't can't can it go to the Senate? It has to go to the Senate. I'll cover that in a second. The great questions, Black Jelly. The So join me at 10 o'clock tonight. Oh, dancing pear alert. There we are, Nancy with the dancing pear alert. And there's Mary with the popcorn. Yeah, we need some popcorn for this one. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Subscribership have gone up today. Thank you for the nice comments. Also, like this video. 260 likes. I mean, come on now. Hit those likes. And also, if you're not considered becoming a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. We added, and we had a wonderful new Calcino VIP become a member today. So that was all very exciting. The highest level of membership. The big news as you start the evening is that the third stimulus package will land in the Senate on February 22nd, but suddenly the Senate may be the place for big money pushes to happen. They're not happening in the House. The House subcommittee had the bill for a week. They didn't listen to anyone. They did whatever was in the bill. There's no indication that they changed anything with the exception of the minimum wage, which came out and then they put it back in. $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness is a standalone bill. It's not part of the third stimulus package. So this bill, the third stimulus package, we will see it in the next few days, the actual bill, even though I'm going to deliver you more of the parts. You've seen some of the parts. And then the bill passes the House and goes to the Senate February 22nd. Well, we'd always focused on this person called the parliamentarian when it gets to the Senate. Tonight we're not, because now we see there is a possibility to go bigger and bolder with more money in the Senate. House members are not stepping up. They're being sort of wussy again. But it's the Senate that needs to go bigger and bolder and ask for more money. And it needs to ask for more money in the right places. Ironically, some of the places we're talking about are Republican partisan issues. So it's not like we're asking for a very partisan play, but this is where you want to push. Ron Wyndon, you want to push with the FPUC. He won $600, get behind him. Get all the viewership of this channel behind him that say, hey, $600. Get everyone else you can, Ron, to support you in the Senate, to get behind you for that $600 of FPUC. That's a difference of $200 a week. It's a difference of $200 a week. March, April, May, June, July, August, 24 weeks, $200 a week. So that's a lot of money. That's about $5,000 if I'm doing the math correctly. Winged Lemon. Thank you, Renee, for the Winged Lemon. Next, the business grants. The business grants are not where they're supposed to be. Get Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Cardin, and the senator from Arizona who fought for EIDL last year. Get them on point and get them to say, wait a second, we need more of this money. Why is this money so small? Then when we're talking about rent and payroll and hazard pay, we don't know those just yet. We certainly know the rent is for low-income, middle class, and mortgage assistance. We know the payroll is for paid sick leave. It's $1,400 up to $1,400 a week if your son stays home, or you stay home, or your family member stays home. But some of these provisions, like hazard pay, make us anxious. And ultimately, when the bill gets to the Senate, if they don't have enough hazard pay in there, it's going to be disgraceful. I mean, if you watch the video before this, you know what's going through my brain, because I show everything I'm thinking on camera right on my face. I thought about when I said that last sentence, I'm thinking about the frontline worker who's working the grocery store during the pandemic, risking their life to give you food in March and April of last year. The most dangerous job you could possibly do in March and April when the pandemic was hitting. The grocery store, April, May, June, July. We are still not giving that person hazard pay. Now, their employer may have given them hazard pay, but we've still not given them hazard pay. But we're going to give a 2-year-old $3,600. We gave a 2-year-old $3,600. How about let me make it even more dramatic, the analogy. We're going to give a 1-year-old $3,600. The 1-year-old barely was even born when the pandemic started. The 1-year-old was barely even born when the pandemic started, and that 1-year-old's getting $3,600. But the grocery store worker's not getting any hazard pay. Now, I'm not saying you're not getting hazard pay. No, people are going to say, is he saying we're not getting hazard pay? Honey, is he saying we're not getting hazard pay? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want to see really good hazard pay. And if there's no good hazard pay in there, boy, you got to get on top of those senators and say, wait a second, what the hell is this bill from the House? There is no hazard pay in there, and you're giving 1-year-olds $3,600 stimulus checks. I mean, 1-year-olds don't even need 500. What's going on here? Now, I'm not against the parents getting a stimulus check, but so there's a big question of where money allocation is going on. You have heard me make the jokes, but it's not a laughing matter, surprisingly, that restaurants are getting $5 million grants per location. My disdain for continual restaurant bailout has been very well documented on this channel. You got the first PPP grants. You got the second PPP grants. You got the third PPP grants. You got the fourth PPP grants. And now you're getting $5 million on top of that. I mean, it's just like, how many grants are restaurants going to get? How many darn grants are restaurants going to get? If there may be a reason why no one's coming to your restaurant to begin with. If you have 5 grants over 2 years of $6 million of grants and you still don't have anything going on, that, hey, Brenda, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. Why is a restaurant getting $6 to $7 million in grants over a year, and a grocery store worker who bags your groceries for, I don't know, $20 an hour, $18 an hour, is not getting hazard pay? This shows how elected officials are really pandering to lobbyists. Don't tell me that lobbyists aren't pandering. Last week, Gavin Newsom was under fire in California for reopening outdoor dining. God forbid, outdoor dining here in California. Most of the counties initially didn't follow him, and then they did. But it doesn't make sense with 700 people in the room and 22 minutes on the clock, 300 likes. Let's get to 1,500. So Tina says, I want a taco truck too. A lot of people want taco trucks in this room because it gives you $5 million grant. It's just like, yeah. When did this happen? Let me answer some of your 2,000 incredible questions and comments from yesterday's recording. Linda Cochran, still not saying when the stimulus checks are being sent out. We don't have a date it's being sent out. There's a reason no one says it's being sent out on February. People always think that there's a reason something's not being sent. The reason not being sent is because we don't have the date. Brenda, when are we going to get our stimulus check exactly? I love that comment. I mean, that's Donut Girl. What day exactly am I getting my stimulus check? Let me give an analogy for this. Between the last recording and this recording, I was waiting for something to come that's part of the new LA show that's coming later this month. And I was told it's not coming today. It was supposed to come early today. It wasn't coming. Then it didn't come. Then I got to know it's coming on Tuesday. And then after the last show ended, the check, Evenings LA, I got to know, oh, it's here. I'm like, where is it here? So I don't even know when something's coming from, an online retailer. How do I gonna know exactly the day you're getting your stimulus check? I just love the Donut Girl and Donut Guy. I just love it. Hugs and just big donuts for all of them. Lisa Ann, it sounds like they're trying to eliminate everything that Trump wanted. Amy Self, they can't get this one out fast enough. Time matters. Can't imagine the next one. Oh my God, they move like turtles. Shirley Atkins, I've never been able to get alerts on the live shows only the recorded ones. Oh, that's interesting. So someone says they can only get the alerts from the recorded shows, but not the tape, but not the live shows. Sheila, job creation doesn't put people back to work if they're having to stay home with their school kids. That's a great comment. I love that comment. Thank you, Sheila. Shirley, I've been having problems for a while getting alerts from you. So I turned off the bell and back on 2 times this week. Still same thing. Lord, I don't know. I don't know. Shelley C. Until he says that it's law, everything is still in processing through all the departments it has to go through. James Hendrick, you've been talking about FPUC and other things. Uh, SSI, we've been looking at for years. Miss Marie, hey Miss Marie, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. How are you? Well, no, the SSI and SSDI $200 a month is a COVID relief and has not been around for years. But everything else is an issue. Connie, people on come on, people, sign it. Do the executive order. Amen. Well, great comment. Everyone, welcome Miss Marie to the family. Christopher McGuire, we need help now, a lot later. Joe Helton, when are they going to get people with SSI and SDI $200 a month on their checks? They're not doing it just yet. Got to push. Every time that someone asks me what date or when am I getting the $200 a month for SSI, it worries me because it means it's someone who is not watching this channel and is not a subscriber to this channel that has been informed somewhere else it's coming. It's not coming. And so what I want you to know is you need to push for it and subscribe to this channel. Jesus Carranza. I don't think they're going to give the $200 for SSI and SSDI. Well, they haven't given it yet in this package. The push is underway to put it in another package. With 26 minutes on the clock and 800 likes, 800 people doing 400 likes, let me answer some of your questions across the board. Drop any questions you have on the screen now that you may have about second stimulus, third stimulus, about what's going on between the House and the Senate. I'll answer all your questions. Some people had really, really great, sophisticated questions. I know we're going to get the $1,400 for our first stimulus check. When will we get the $1,400 or will we get the $2,000 MSE? Gun, no, they're not holding that promise. They are not. They were supposed to give you $1,400 plus $2,000. They're not doing it. They're only giving you $1,400. And the adult dependents are supposed to get $3,200 plus $2,000. They're only giving them $1,400. Can you something for EIDL? Can you get a second EIDL grant? No, I mean, it's enough problems just getting the first one. Can you get a second one? No, there's enough problems just getting the first one. When you're becoming president, I mean, not with this jaw anytime soon. When are they doing the fourth stimulus check? When are they doing the fourth stimulus check? My sense is you may get a stimulus check through something else, one of these other bills, before we get to the fourth stimulus package. The fourth stimulus package is sounding like it's the recovery package, that this is the rescue package and it's the recovery package. And the recovery package sounds like the final goodbye for stimulus land. But I just don't think they know what the hell they're talking about. I think they're just sort of winging it. I just think they're just sort of talking, with the air. Haven't gotten the third one yet. Yeah, some people haven't gotten the second one yet. When does it go to the Senate? February 22nd. Is it to vote to go through or does it go through its own committees? Oh, that's a great question, Andreas. So Nancy indicates that the Senate subcommittees have been working the last week with the House subcommittees, but they're still allowed to do that. Ella, do you think they'll keep the forbearance with the mortgage? Well, there is a mortgage forbearance currently under executive order. That won't be thrown away. The mortgage assistance in the third stimulus package that Nancy tells us is mortgage money. Do you see the one-page letter saying that's proof that we don't need stimulus checks? No, I didn't see it. Debbie, thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk. When will it get out of the Senate? The day it becomes law. The day it becomes law. Does someone who was an adult dependent in 2020 get the $1,400? I didn't see the rest of the comment. Everyone gets $1,400, so it's sort of an easy answer. Everyone's getting $1,400. Children, adult dependents, everyone gets $1,400. Minor dependents, everyone gets $1,400. Let me see if there are any questions in the Instagram room. Oh, missed this thing on the screen there. Let's see if I can grab it. LA, do you think they'll keep the forbearance with the mortgage assistance? No, they're separate. The mortgage forbearance is executive order. The mortgage the mortgage money is in the bill. Rent grant for second stimulus. Uh, Rent grant for second stimulus? Yes, great question. So the states have received the money from the second stimulus package for rent. California got a fortune. That was the rent assistance of the second stimulus, the Mar-a-Lago stimulus signed into law. Still need help with rent assistance, says Roy. So that is purple. If you want me to bring back that show, I can bring back that show. But reach out to the volunteers. They're in the community page in the description to this video, news.la.com/community. They can help you get rent, utilities, and food across your cities and state. Now it's easier because more states are paying this money because they have the money. When's your merchandise dropping? Not just yet. You're going to see the new LA drop first if my jaw doesn't drop before that. My jaw, my cheek, my chin, my face. First, that's going to drop. And then you're going to see the new LA drop. And then you're going to see everything else. So one thing at a time. I think I said to someone, I apologize if I was rude. Someone asked me that in private today. I'm like, my focus is not a mug at the moment. My focus is being able to drink out of a mug and in happiness. So yes. Uh, when will we be able to get the mortgage assistance when it becomes law? Great question in the Instagram room. Are they also giving undocumented people stimulus checks? No. Um, are we getting merchandise? Are they trying to cheat us out of money? Of course, the Congress. Can I file my taxes for FPUC even though they didn't take them out of state or federal? Oh, okay, let me answer this question. This is a great question. Sky Blue in the Instagram room says, can I file my taxes for FPUC even though they didn't take out for state or federal? Okay, so this is a great question. Every week that you go to certify for benefits, it asks you whether you want to take out for taxes or not. You have a choice. Now, the way the state is supposed, the computer system on the state is supposed to say it, is it's taken out for both FPUC and UI or PUA, not just UI and PUA. You can elect to have it taken out or not taken out. If you had it taken out, it should have taken out from UI or PUA and FPUC because they're all taxable. If you did not take out for taxes, you pay taxes on it. And if you did not, and if for some reason it did not take out for FPUC but took out for the UI, you pay taxes on the FPUC. Remember, UI, FPUC, and PUA are all taxable. You only have to take out for once, and if it never taken out for it, you have to pay taxes on it. If you don't know what it is, go to your portal and look it up. So that was a great question from Sky Below. There you go. LA, can you get assistance because you paid bill and mortgages on time? Yes, the volunteers can help you with rent assistance even when you're not behind on rent. Eric, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. Everyone, welcome Eric to the family. One of the messages I've not got repeated enough lately is that second stimulus and third stimulus are more restrictive about where rent is being spent and who can get rent. But the nonprofits, the private charities, often give rent to people in a totally different way. a totally different way because it's their company. It's their company. It's their nonprofit. They can spend however they want to spend the money. And there you go. At the 34-minute mark, with 1,000 people in the room and 500 likes, we did good. We did good. Do I think you're going to get the SS200? As I said, I think in this recording or the recording before this, maybe it was the recording before this, that I think it's going to implode. Yeah, it was the recording before this. I think it's going to implode, and I would be happy if LA was the purpose of why it imploded. I think there's a lot of ageism in this stimulus package. I think Congress should take an internal look at what they're doing here, and that the vast majority of the stimulus relief in this bill is disproportionately allocated to very young children, 6 years and younger, and disproportionately not given to the most at risk, most endangered group of the pandemic, older people. And 2-year-olds should not be getting $5,000 stimulus checks in the middle of a pandemic. $3,600 plus $1,400. $3,600 for child tax credit given to their parents because they exist, and $1,400 for the child. They should not be getting $5,000 tax credits. They got $500 in the first stimulus package. Why are they getting $5,000 now? Where seniors or adults, of advanced ages, they need more stimulus. And I'm including, of course, SSI and SSDI. And it doesn't make sense that we are treating disproportionately very, very young people, newborns, an insane amount of money, and so little money to older people who need more money to live. They're older, they have medical bills, they're sick, they're older, they eat more than a 2-year-old, they have a car, they walk, they have gas, they have a refrigerator. 2-year-olds don't have anything. Their parents have money. I'm not against the parents getting money. And so at some point it looks like this is happening repeatedly. And we all know that Nancy Pelosi talks about children every 10 seconds that she writes, but President Joe Biden wrote this bill. And I think it's going to implode at some point. I think it's going to implode at some point. I'm certainly not, I've never been like whatever. I've never been a social media advocate, but I think that it's starting to build up pretty bad, that we're seeing not just the silence on SSI and SSDI, but now here you go, I'm giving $5,000 to 2-year-olds. How are you? Yeah. $5,000 to 2 years. Oh, seniors. Oh, I don't know senior citizens. It's starting to look a little wacko. It's as wacko as the $5 million for the hot dog stand. 5 million. It looks when you look at the $5 million for the taco stand, it looks like the restaurant union got to whoever wrote the bill. So there you go. 1,000 people in the room and 600 likes. We did it. Thank you for joining me for Evenings LA. I'll be back with you at 10 o'clock on the West Coast, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Hazard Pay tonight, a live chat. Stay informed, stay focused. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Also like this video. And thank you for the new members who joined in tonight's chat. And if you've not joined, consider becoming a member. Purple Power, Purple Hawk, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay alive for more.